Hi, I'm David Huang, member of the Teen Advisory Board with Howard County Library System, and today we're going to be going over some Java projects that you can do once you've learned Java with our tab videos. Okay, so let's begin with some common uses of Java. So Java is a very useful and very powerful programming language. One of the uses it has been used for is for software tools. So it's been used in a lot of open source and commercial software projects, such as Eclipse or other IDEs. It's also used in Android and web applications. So Java is very commonly used for Android apps, so apps you might find on your Android phone, or just general applications on the internet, on the web. And then Java is very useful for science-related applications. So Java code is very strong, very reliable, and which makes it useful for things such as science apps, or science applications, or such as things in software engineering. So these are three very useful things of Java. But of course, Java isn't only useful for this, it's also useful, as we're going to discuss today, for a lot of different projects that you guys can do with it. So why make projects? Well, projects are a good way to practice your skills that you've learned in Java or in anything really. Using a skill or knowledge you have on a certain topic, it's important to practice it. And one way to practice it is to apply it in some unique way that's out of the ordinary, not just something from a textbook. It also has a lot of real-life application to the knowledge of Java. So there's a lot of real-life applications you can have using it, such as making apps or making certain projects that actually can be used in real life. It's also a way to have fun while you're also being able to practice Java. Finally, you, and I've already said this, but you can create real systems that can actually be used. You can make things that people can actually use, or you can actually use using what you've learned. It's not just like something that you're doing for fun, it's something that people can actually utilize in their lives. So let's begin with the first one. So the electricity billing system. So the goal is to make an electricity billing system that's efficient and smooth. And of course, it'll be digital instead of maybe on paper. So it'll calculate the amount of power you've consumed, in watts or joules or whatever it is, for a certain amount of time. And they calculate the price it would cost. So it would say, if you've used, I don't know, a certain amount of power, 500, joules of power or something like that in, I think it'd be watts, 500 watts of power in like 30 days, it would calculate, that would cost $50, it would cost however much money. And of course you can use, obviously, the skills you've learned to do so. And also, of course, the billing system has to be simple and easy, while also being very useful, so that can be able to calculate everything, but it also has to be easy to use. It can't be like a lot of things you have to input or something like that, or like system dial printing like a bunch of lines or something like that. And it should have a focus on high speed, so running very fast, not being super repetitive in the code, using the efficient programming solutions. It has to be accurate. Of course, you don't want it to calculate the wrong amount of money, right? It has to be seamless, and of course it has to be secure, so that your information doesn't get leaked. And of course, there should be room for improvement, as always. So that's the first project, the electricity billing system. The second one is sort of an email client software. So of course, we all know Gmail. Gmail is very useful, and of course Yahoo and Microsoft Mail or something. So there's a lot of different types of email softwares. Of course, here we want to make a system that can send and receive emails using Java. And it's one thing you can use is use the Java Mail API. And then the projects will focus more on security compared to common web browser emails, such as Gmail or Yahoo, which can easily be hacked. So we want something that's more secure. And you should be able to send emails to your internet service provider, your ICP, and then which can then send it to the mail server, which or to whichever mail server you're sending it to, so to your friend or to a teacher or something. And then it should be safe, secure, and fast. And that's what we want to focus on. And that's, of course, what we want every email software to be. And that's what we want. Next, an online banking system. So the goal is to create an online banking system that can be used anywhere. So you want to emphasis on being able to access and withdraw money and find out balance and then all the other banking features you would find on any website or anywhere. And you should expect all the features of this online banking system to be accessible from, or to have the same features that a real life physical brick and mortar bank would have. So, but instead it would be completely online, which of course would avoid the time spent waiting in a physical bank, or of course now we have the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic, so we would be able to avoid that as well. And then an emphasis on being fast, of course, since you don't want to wait like 20 hours just for it to process that you want to withdraw money, but then you probably don't even need the money anymore. And then having a wide range of information present, since that's what regular brick and mortar banks have, and also being able to easily withdraw or deposit money. And of course, here's some benefits of online banking. So speedy loan app. So of course you want it to be fast. You want it to be easy to transfer funds, and you want to emphasize security among other things. And that's the benefits of an online banking system that you can use through the Java programming language. And then finally we have the online surveyor. So this is a project. Oops, sorry about that. So you can create a project that can quickly survey people and collect data from them. Oops, sorry. So it can receive a lot of information, a lot of data, and they can convey a lot of information after it compiles the data it's received in a straightforward manner. So if you're doing a research experiment, you can send this information out, and people will be able to receive it and answer it, and you'll be able to get the information back in a compiled manner. It should be easy to use, and of course be accessed anywhere online. That's what a good online survey should be. That's it. I hope this video was helpful. Again, we went through 4 different types of programs or projects you could do, and some ideas that you could use, and some general tips and stuff. And of course, why we make projects, because it's useful, because we can apply that information in real life, and of course Java has a lot of uses. So hopefully this was helpful, and good luck in your Java projects. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a nice day.